Just how are you? I am too fine. How to stay in your home? It's good. Now, so far discussed about some courses. Some courses. Of this course, Hazardous Waste Management is one course, which consists 1 credit hour. Therefore, I prepared this course for you and study at your home. Now, the course has, it's obvious, delivered to you. That means for environmental here 3rd year. Now, the course has 4 important chapters. The first chapter consists introduction to hazardous waste. The second one, type and the sources of hazardous waste. Third one, character of hazardous waste. The fourth, adverse effect of hazardous waste. The last chapter will focus on treatment and disposal method of hazardous waste. Now, the objective of this course is all of you able to understand to recognize hazardous materials in the workplace, hazard, the process of how to develop and manage the life and the proper handling, storage, disposal of hazardous materials. Also to understand how to minimize the risk of handling, storing and disposing of hazardous materials. Final, you have to understand the component necessary to comply with the laws of prevention audit questions. The first, just we try to focus on introduction parts. Now, before deeply starting this course needs an introduction part. So, why we concern with hazardous waste management? It is clear that hazardous waste management has to be regulated. Clearly, if regulatory agency is to regulate something, there should be an ambiguous meaning of identifying and describing that something which to be evaluated. Why it needs to define this waste? Because of to decide whether or not waste to be controlled. This is important for generators as well as for regulators. Okay, so the term hazardous waste meaning a solid or a combination of solid which may a cause or significant contribute to increase in mortality or an increased serious irreversible or incapacitating reversible illness, or the pose substantial present or potential to hazard to human or environment when improperly treated, stored, transported or disposal of otherwise managed. Thus, what does it mean when hazardous? It is actually this huge broader term refers to all waste that are danger for any reason, including those that are toxic. In fact, toxic is a poison substance which causes death or serious injury to human and animals by interfering with normal physiology. Or, other hand, the term is properly used to describe poor substance whether or not have become waste. Thus, as why definition is difficult now? Because hazardous are associated with waste depending upon composition, physical form, chemical property, physical property, and biological property. If properly treated, or stored or transported or discarded either a solid, semi-solid, liquid or gaseous waste that can cause disease, illness, injury to people, or destruction of environment. Thus, hazardous waste meaning any unwanted material that believed to be deleterious to human safety or healthy or environment. So, hazardous may cause or significantly contribute to an increased mortality or cause increase in severe irreversible or incapacity reversible illness or possible substantial presence on potential hazard to human environment when improperly managed because of its quantity, concentration, physical, chemical, and infectious character. So, hazards are solid or gaseous waste that may be deadly or harmful to people or environment and tend to be persistent or non-degradable in nature. Such wastes include toxic chemicals, flammable or radioactive substances including industrial waste from chemical plants or nuclear reactors, agricultural waste such as pesticides, fertilizers, medical waste, and household hazardous waste such as toxic paints, solvents. Detailed source actually we will see in the chapter 2 under hazardous waste sources. So hazardous wastes are with properties that make them potential to human health or environmental health. Hazardous waste can be therefore liquid, solid, content gases, or sludge. They can be byproduct of manufacturing process or simply discarded chemicals, product like cleaning fluids or pesticides. Thus, in regulatory terms of Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, which is abbreviated as RCRA, hazardous waste are thus appears on one of the four waste lists or characteristics. These include F list, K list, P list, U list. Why create is important for F, P, U, and K. 1. To understand the waste, to clear and make simple hazardous waste accordingly. 2. If we list as such way, no need for further testing. Why? Because each of these lists known character. Hazardous waste exhibits at least one of the following four manners. This ignitability, corrosivity, reactivity, and the toxic are the four important characters. So, in the some history, we have to go to one person who study about the DDT. As this study, there is an available book which is known as Raquel Cursor Silent Spring, which is sinister agents in the public eye since this book is published. Now, DDT can be found in the deep sea liquid, which is skewed humans and the land animals, which is known as fatty tissue. Why? Because this DDT has lipophilic. That means it's hydrophobic. Mercury is the second one, which is dramatically different from toxicological property. As liquid state, as was used to cure constipations, mercury salt, on the other hand, caused neurological disorders. Organic forms, there is organic form and inorganic forms. The organic forms are more toxic than that of inorganic forms. Inorganic forms, they are found in sedimented form like bioaccumulated in the shellfish. But this is caused paralysis and sensory loss, which is commonly known as minimata. Thus, there is also other hazardous, which is known as polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, which had multiple use for transformer, coolant, and plastic leather. They are carcinogenic. They can be toxic in higher concentration. Methyl isocyanate is when it linked with union carbide plant, causing about 3,800 Ds and 3,000 disabilities. These incidents brought about an act of emergency planning and the community right to know actors. Until there is some history, for instance, until 90s, that means 19th century, most material used in homes, industrial were natural products. Manufacture of products result was such as persistence, toxic, flammable, corrosive, explosive were generated. So in 90s, which is 19th century, petroleum was used for among human beings. From 1930s to 1950s, halogenation found improved properties, especially non-flammable. Halogenated pesticides were very effective. So in 1990s, continued public awareness of problems related to hazardous waste is contaminated, such as soil, water, air, food, and so on. In 2000, around 2000, global hazardous waste concerns were developed. Student, thank you very much. This is the end for the chapter 1.